Greetings and good afternoon. I am Lolly Bowen. I'm a writer and reporter with the Chicago Tribune. It is my great honor and great pleasure to serve as today's host for this wonderful conversation, which we hope will not only be insightful for you, but will serve as an opener for a broader, deeper, more meaningful conversation on this very important topic. The writer and scholar Paula Giddings posed the question, when and where do I enter, as she was researching the many ways that African American women approached advocacy and activism. So as we began organizing this very timely main stage session, it was that same question that I returned to over and over again. When and where do I enter? When it comes to gun violence, on my block, in my neighborhood, in my community, in my country, where and when do I enter as a problem solver? As a reporter, I've arrived to neighborhoods after fatal shootings to gather up the details and share what happened and who we lost. I've sat with mothers and fathers in the medical examiner's office as they've waited to formally identify their sons' bodies. And I've attended the funerals of young people, young men and women who were shot and killed and never got to make it to prom, never saw it to high school graduation. They never got to experience their first day at a first job or even college orientation. As a member of the media, it has long been our goal to document these stories and share them with our readers and with the public to show that these lives matter and that they are important and valued. I don't need to tell you how pressing this moment in this conversation is. But just to be clear, gun violence in Chicago is decreasing, and it is in many of our cities. But it is also so ever present. I don't like to recite the grim statistics because I don't think that it conveys the weight of every loss or every injury. So instead, what I'll say is, if you combine the number of people that were shot and that were killed just last weekend in Chicago, you could fill an entire Greyhound bus, and some people would have to stand or they'd have to be loaded onto another bus. After the terrible shooting in El Paso, there were enough people killed and shot and injured to also fill a Greyhound bus, and only 7 seats would have been left empty. Then if you take the number of people that were killed in Dayton, Ohio, you could fill up more than half of a Greyhound bus. So if you combine those 3 incidents, we're talking about more than 3 Greyhound buses of people that have been shot or killed in one weekend. And that's only 3 specific incidents that I'm telling you about. That doesn't encompass our entire country. Each of those people have loved ones, they have family members and friends, and so the pain of those experiences just reverberates outward. Today, I challenge you, as you listen to these speakers, to think about when and where you enter. How can you impact this epidemic that is far-reaching in its consequences? We have gathered for you today 5 speakers that will approach the topic of gun violence from very unique perspectives. We will have a town hall discussion right afterward, which will open the conversation to you so we can hear your thoughts, your comments, and your questions.